He abandons his daughter. Oh no. They did it! Hello and lovely to see all your virtual faces. My name is Gingy Dave, and today we are going to be doing a deep dive into Pokemon Movie 3, Mystery of, the Unknown. No, that can't be right. I thought this movie was about Entei. This is an unknown movie?
Yeah, entei was on the promotional art, but it's Mystery of the Unknown.
How do you make an unknown movie? They're just an alphabet soup with hidden powers. This is our third Pokemon movie, and I gotta tell you, the last two have been good. In fact, there are some parts of the previous movies that have been excellent, but none of them have wowed me. They were cute, showed me a good time, but I wouldn't go on a second date. None of them swept me off my feet, shown me the world, properly wined and dined me. They were nice. Stand-up movies even. But they're just missing something. They haven't been the one that takes your breath away. None of them have grabbed my attention like a good, well-written, non-Pokemon movie. None of them have been cinema. You know, off-screen, Caleb, we could be watching some more classical movies. The ones that shape the very landscape of what we envision could exist on the screen. Films like Casablanca, Seven Samurai, Clash of Titans.
Oh, the one with Liam Neeson and the CGI Kraken?
No! I'm saying, wouldn't it be fun to take a bit of a break from Pokemon and watch something with some real meat on its bones? A movie with excellent pacing, great themes and storytelling, fantastic use of characters in space. One that makes your heart race when you see it. You get all the flush in your cheeks, you can't think straight. Makes you want to just settle for like...
Chill.
Sorry, you're right. You guys aren't here for that. You guys want to see a review of Pokemon, Mystery of the Unknown. And by Jove, we are here to deliver. As far as you know, my existence is solely based on your viewership. Because if you stop watching, well, I stop existing. And let's be honest, there has been something oddly charming about these films. Well, let's get started. I'm going to watch the entirety of Pokemon, The Mystery of the Unknown, and report back to you guys. Wait. What? No. 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 No!
Kenji, what in the... Did he? And they made you watch the entirety of the Unknown movie?
Yeah.
That's terrifying. Inconvenient.
I know! As the movie starts, we are introduced to Spencer Hale, a well-known Pokemon researcher, as well as his daughter, Molly Hale. They are in one of the most extravagant rooms you have ever seen in your life, making you question how much a Pokemon researcher gets paid. Together, they are doing some light bedtime reading on the legendary Pokemon. Molly rudely interrupts her father and flips from the page that shows the Eldritch abomination, that is the Unknown, to the page to her favorite Pokemon, Entei, and compares it to her strong, brave father. Spencer, then being a silly, goofy man, pretends to be Entei as they begin to play, Molly riding on his back as if he were the legendary Pokemon itself. Their play session is interrupted when Spencer gets an emergency email on his computer in his daughter's playroom from his assistant. Is this Molly's computer? Is his assistant emailing Molly for a Pokemon researcher emergency? Anyway, the video message is about a find in some desert ruins involving the Unknown. He abandons his daughter and while exploring the ruins, stumbles upon some hieroglyph tablets of the Pokemon Unknown. Upon touching them, Spencer is thrown into another dimension and is lost to this world. Later, the next day, the assistant is talking to the Hale family's personal butler about the sudden disappearance of Spencer. Molly overhears the conversation and realizes that now her father too is gone. From this moment, it is heavily implied that her mother has passed away. Lamenting her lack of parents, instead of becoming Batman, Molly stumbles upon the set of hieroglyphic tablets. Thinking that they are children's toys, Molly spells out Papa, Mama, and me. The tablets glow, and the Unknown who were in the ruins teleport to where Molly is. Molly excitedly greets the invaders that teleported into her home. like the child she is. Upon forming the pack, Unknown begins to seal her away, coating alien crystals all along every surface of the manor. The assistant and the butler just briefly witness the Unknown with Molly before being forced out of the manor entirely. Molly is glad to play with her new friends, but still grieves over the loss of her father, and remembers the last time they played together, where he was the brave and strong Entei. The Unknown grant the desires of Molly and create a surrogate father with the form of Entei, whom she excitedly calls Papa.
Daddy Entei.
Okay, brief aside though, this is the first 5 minutes of this movie, and I gotta say they're kind of throwing a lot of stuff at us. We're catching it. We're doing it. Is it nice that we're getting a lot of exposition in a really quick, extravagant way? Yes. Meanwhile, Ash, Misty, and returning legend Brock meet a trainer named Lisa who offers to have a Pokemon battle. Ash accepts. So you know what that means. Not gonna vibe. Not gonna do it. Nope. After Ash defeats Lisa in combat, despite the writer finally figuring out type matchups, the gang requires a Pokemon Center, which Lisa points them to the direction of Greenfield, a scenic town known for its lush scenery and beautiful mansion. As the gang finally reaches Greenfield, they are met with the stunning view of the mansion, surrounded by an expanse of once lush fields encrusted in alien crystal. The gang is shocked by the assault to the natural order, and so's Team Rocket, who is spying on the gang. Bunch of weirdos. Ash and team see a TV crew who is reporting on the crystal phenomena. We cut to Dahlia, finally getting her name pronounced somewhat reasonably, Professor Oak, and Tracy watching the news. We learned that not only the esteemed and rich Spencer Hale was one of Professor Oak's best students, but also is an old family friend of the Ketchums. With the Hale mansion now surrounded by crystals, Ash's mom and Oak both worriedly rush to check in on their friend and his daughter. Actually, let's talk about that scene a little bit more. That was actually a very clever use of the news crew. We see the scene of the crew coming into view in front of Ash and crew. We see them starting to record. Using that, we cut to Dahlia watching the news for some exposition, and then to Professor Oak and Tracy also commenting on their shared connection to the main antagonist. Usually with movies like this, Pokemon movies specifically, they would have just done some random cuts. But the following motivation between scenes and the news crew being the glue of it's quite clever. But a bit of clever scene transitions does not a great movie make. Nope, no, it's just fine. I'm not dazzled or whatever. With the power of movie convenience, Oak and Ash's mom arrive in Greenfield, much to the surprise of Ash and the gang. Molly also is watching the news in her bizarro crystal bedroom with her massive guard dog of a father, Entei. And guess who she sees? Ash's mom, a maternal figure she remembers from childhood. It is then she also remembers her startling lack of a mom and decides that she deserves Ash's. Why she doesn't just make a new one and we could have Mama Suicune and Papa Entei? I don't know. Probably shows she's been missing a mom for such a long time. She can't even remember her. She can't even remember her mom. Ash's mom tries to remind Ash about the Hale family, and around the time that she gets done expositing, Entei freaking shows up. Brainwashes Dahlia into thinking that she's Molly's mom. She collapses on Entei and then whisks her away while Entei appears impervious by any of Pikachu's attacks. Ash chases after Entei, demanding his mother back, where he is only stopped by Brock just before he crosses into the Crystal Fields. And Ash cries out in frustration at his inability to save his mom. Entei returns to the Crystal Castle, presenting Mama to Molly. Entei then showcases Molly's growing kingdom. He shows her the rampant destruction of the crystals as they spread across the landscape, with everything being coated in the opalescent blue crystals. Molly only comments on the beauty. Professor Oak does his job as a well paid Pokemon researcher, lets everyone know that what just stole Dahlia was the legendary Pokemon Entei. The assistant, as a poorly paid Pokemon researcher, and being one of the three people who was there when it all started, reveals the true nature of the plague is the unknown that created the Entei and likely the crystals. In Dragonland, Charizard, also watching the news, sees Ash failing to save his mom and appears to be quite bothered by this. Back to Greenfield, the news report on the single bulldozer that is trying to take back some of the area that the crystal structure has taken by smashing through it in a straight line. Yeah! Smash! Wow! Unfortunately, Molly is a little girl and decides that destroying everything that she's built isn't that fun. So she wants the bulldozer to go away. The unknown grant the wish by creating more and more crystals, flipping the dozer and coating the machine in more crystals. The driver's just barely escaping. Molly sends a video message because no one knows how to send a text to Professor Oak, informing them that she just wants to be left alone with her mom and dad. This confuses everyone who knows what's going on, since both her parents are gone. Ash is not willing to sit by while his mom is adult nabbed and prepares to set out alone. However, his best buds, Misty and Brock, are a ride or unalive kind of crew, so they all set out to rescue Dahlia. To their luck, a stream appears to be unaffected by the unknown's mysterious powers, proving again that aliens are vulnerable to water. As the team begins the naval assault, Team Rocket attempts an aerial advance. Unfortunately, Entei isn't just for kidnapping, as his anti-air fire blast easily knocks them out of the air. This isn't a complete setback, as Team Rocket have now crash landed behind enemy lines. Ash uses his team of Pokemon to help gain entrance into the mansion, becoming a close approximation of Pokemon SEAL Team 6. Behind enemy lines, treading through water, grappling up the side of cliffs with Vine Whip, all the while, at any moment, Entei could rush in and destroy all of them. Molly watches from afar, surveying her queendom and questions Ash's efforts. Despite her warnings and her simple desire to be left alone with her family, Ash still attempts to invade her place. Next to Molly, Dahlia also watches Ash's reckless attempt to save her. The sight of her son risking his life kicks in her maternal instincts, overpowering the hypnosis and allowing her some freedom. The well-paid Professor Oak and poorly paid assistant of Professor Hale call Ash to let him know that they discovered that the unknown they witnessed with Molly are able to read people's thoughts and believed to be able to create alternate realities, and as such are the prime suspect of what's happening to the crystallization of Greenfield. With struggle and ingenuity, Ash and team use a blast of flame to cut a hole in the exterior of the Crystal Mansion. However, the mansion regenerates too quickly for anyone to penetrate it. They overcome these obstacles by blasting a hole with fire, then following it up with a torrent of water to keep it open, allowing each member to ride the wave through the hole. Ash is the last one through, carrying his hydro-blasting Totodile through the hole as it quickly closes behind him. Once inside, they find and climb a set of stairs that transform underneath them until they reach a grassy meadow? They weren't joking when they said alternate realities. Up to this point, they have only created. Now the unknown have altered the rules of space to allow for a beautiful meadow to live inside a mansion. That or Professor Hale has a few more zeros at the end of his bank account. And while this is happening, Team Rocket breaks into an unknown inner sanctum, a minor event that can and should be overlooked. Papa Entei asks Molly if she wishes for the intruders to be taken care of. Molly tells Entei not to, expressing that she wants to have a Pokemon battle with them, but feels that she's too young. Entei responds by saying that she can do whatever she wishes. Then Molly just passes out. Entei pieces out and leaving to find the trio of invaders. While flying down, the unknown create an avatar of Molly, streaming the sleeping Molly's consciousness into crystal apparitions. This form is more malleable than her flimsy flesh, and she wishes herself to be older, and older she becomes. Molly and Entei confront the intruders to her domain playfully, but when Ash doesn't play along and demands his mom, Molly mocks him and says, "You're no fun." The sage Brock stops Ash from battling her. When Ash asks why, Brock relays that he can stall her so that Ash and Misty can get to Dahlia. Ash and Misty start running up the stairs as Brock has the Pokemon battle. Molly doesn't battle with actual Pokemon, but rather unknown apparitions that overpower, exactly as if a kid were playing imagination. And since Brock has to play by the laws of nature, despite it being freaking cool, he gets destroyed by Molly's team. Back in Molly's nap time, Dahlia finds Molly's storybook and asks her about it. Apparently, streaming your consciousness to an avatar isn't that taxing, since Molly is able to explain that her father used to read it to her, and that she used to feel lonely. But now that she has her mama and papa, she doesn't anymore. As Dahlia flips through the picture book, we see the same scenes from the floors that Ash and Misty go through, revealing that each location is one of the unknown fabrications through Molly's memory of the books. The fact that the childhood book is the reason for these very specific locations in the pocket dimension is really quite clever. Is this a good movie? This might be a really good movie. Molly appears again and asks who wishes to challenge her. Again, Ash is ready to bring the smackdown, but Misty becomes the voice of reason and accepts the fight. As Molly and Misty get ready for the Pokemon battle, Misty reveals that she is actually a gym leader. Molly is shocked that someone so young can be a gym leader, so she turns herself younger, but still older than her original age. Okay, brief pause there. This is a fantastic use of theming, right? This is absolutely like a coming of age story where the coming of age, though, is the acceptance of one's own fragility. You have Molly, who just moments ago thinks that she has to be an adult to deal or even dream of the things that she wants to do. And just in one Pokemon battle, we have a moment where she accepts that she can do this even as a younger kid. We're seeing like almost a reverse issue of like a coming of age story, which is just the acceptance of your own naivety. As Ash runs up the stairs, Misty tells Molly she is a water gym trainer. Being a good host, Molly imagines the space to fill with water so that they can only use water-type Pokemon. Misty panics as the water fills the room, but as she takes a breath in, she realizes it plays like a dream. As Misty and Molly fight, Team Rocket swim up the stairs and wonder if they have a bigger part in the next movie. Again, ignore them. They aren't important. Ash finally makes it to the top of the ethereal mansion and finds his mom. Dahlia wakes up Molly and tells her that it's time to leave and that she is not her real mother. Molly, however, acting like any child that is losing their mother for a second time, gets anxious and refuses. The unknown react to Molly's distress and rapidly create a bunch of new red crystal. Entei spawns in, and Molly tells him that Ash is stealing her mama. And Entei puts a barrier between Ash and his mom. Then we get the fight scene of the century. Ash is horribly outmatched, but tells Entei that it will not lose to an illusion made by a child. Goodness! This is actually a fantastic moment. This is a great movie. I mean, the fight of ideals. The fact that Ash is specifically challenging Molly's delusions that keep her from facing the hard truth that both of her parents are gone, my word! Add to that the sacrifice and trials that the team went through, Brock and Misty both recognizing they can't beat her, but only can stall her. The dream logic fights, then finally Ash needs to be in this movie because it's his mom. Dahlia needs to be here because it's her friend's kid. It's so good. Entei gets mad at this sick, nasty burn and uses more of the unknown's power to increase its strength and influence as it proclaims that it is real and that it is Molly's father. Ash and Pikachu fought valiantly, but Entei is about to end this whole fight with one more fire blast. Ash puts his body in the way of the blast and grabs Pikachu and is blown out of the building as he plummets to his doom. Ash is then saved by the best boy, Charizard. Ash rides on his noble dragon and leaps back into the fray with Entei. This is one of the best fight scenes in any Pokemon movie to date. And it is coupled by the fight of ideals. Ash is constantly commenting on how his friends, mom, and Pokemon are real family, as Molly's Pokemon and father are illusory counterparts. Molly continuously rejects this premise, and Entei says that he will be Molly's real father if that is what she wishes, like a true Jin. This fight scene of beliefs is so good, man. At the very end, Ash and Charizard do lose to the Crystal Entei as Entei places his paw on Charizard's neck, ready to end his whole confrontation once and for all. Molly intervenes and ends the fight. Brock and Misty praise Molly for knowing when to end a Pokemon battle and tell her she could become a great gym leader someday. Ash echoes this, saying no matter how hard the fights are, they're always friends, and their love of Pokemon never ends. Whew! Oh man, this is dope. Even from a spectacle point of view, this movie has been incredible. The team offers Molly another shot at coming home with them. And even Dahlia goes as far as to say that it's what her real father would have wanted. Molly now accepts this and wants everything to be real again, almost immediately. Some of the crystal structures and illusory Pokemon she battled with start to disappear, and Entei says that all these things must go for it to be truly real. Of course, nothing goes as planned. And it is revealed that the unknown used too much of their psychic power to create the fantasy and are about to go nuclear, no longer being able to hold on to their energy. The crystals even reach the safe haven of the Greenfield Pokemon Center, which luckily everyone was able to escape in time. Ash and team, with the help of Entei, start running down the stairs. They eventually reach the room with the unknown. And Ash does what Ash does and tries to go after it first. As this immediately fails, as the unknown have a barrier surrounding them, we go to Plan B, which involves a lot more flamethrowers, electric attacks, and just everything that the team can throw at it. Eventually, Entei joins the fray. Entei proclaims to Molly that he was happy to be her father, and that because he was made from her dreams, if she believes in him, there is nothing he can't do. Molly looks at her surrogate father and says that she believes. And Entei uses one final attack to pacify the unknown. A large beam of light flashes in the room, and we reveal that Entei is floating, saying that his time has come, and he returns to his crystal form. The unknown create another portal, and the tile set from before fall and disintegrate on the floor. The unknown themselves leave through the same portal. At this time, in the desert ruins, Professor Spencer is released from the unknown dimension. The world of Greenfield is returned to normal, and Molly looks up at the sky and sees a cloud that is in the shape of Entei. She thanks him, for surely she has learned a lesson that will shape her for the rest of her life. And that is how the Pokemon Mystery of the Unknown ends. It's so good from start to finish. They set up the theme of this child wonder and abandonment from the very beginning. We see so much take place in such a short amount of time. This movie is only an hour and 10 minutes, maybe an hour 20 at most, but we just see this culmination, this brilliant epitaph of this child learning to deal with loss and figuring out how to live a life, even if you're a child. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Oh, there's some end credit scenes, it looks like. Well, let's watch them together, shall we? Oh, that's nice. They show the reunion of Spencer and Molly. That's fantastic. Well, wait, what's this scene? Uh, who, who is that woman? No. No. You can't. It can't be. We can't have told a whole story about the acceptance of loss and the willingness to move on and then not have the character lose anything. It's Molly's mom. No! 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 She was supposed to be gone! They set up the whole movie! That's the whole point of the loss! The whole movie! It doesn't even make sense! Why would you steal Dahlia if you actually have a mom that you could wish for anything? You could wish for your mom back! She actually did work. Was she on vacation? Was she just on a business trip somewhere? Why is she back? What does this mean? Is this like a weird... This...
Genji, you okay?
No! It was perfect. It was perfect. And they ruined it. This isn't cinema. I can't show anyone this. It didn't do it. It was batting 100. The themes were perfect. No, I'm not fine.
Well, I was looking it up just for background details and whatnot, and it looks like the director actually doesn't direct the next Pokemon movie, which I thought was weird. And so I looked it up, and apparently that scene was added without his permission after the movie was done by the producers, and then he stopped making movies after that with them. So it wasn't his idea.
I knew it. I knew it. A tortured artist. There's nothing more cinematic than that. An underappreciated director who's trying to teach us a lesson about life and loss, and then corporate greed gets in the way. What's better? What's more artistic? What's more cinematic than a director not getting his way because of capitalism? They did it! Off screen, Caleb, they did it! This isn't a movie! This is cinema! It's perfect! They did it! Did you say he's not directing the next movie? Oh no. Well, it's time we put this on the tier list. Look at it. Well, this isn't just some sort of plebeian like type of movie. This isn't just B tier. I dare say it's definitely not A tier. It's something different. It has the je ne sais quoi, as the French say. What? It needs its own tier. It needs its own tier. It needs the entei tier. No, not that. No. Okay, Daddy Entei tier. I'm in a good mood. Daddy Entei tier. It's the best. Every Pokemon movie from now on will be critiqued to this beautiful standard. Thank you so much for watching. We put a lot of work into these things. We really just kind of give it our all. We improve every single video. We love making these videos. So, and if you like these videos, maybe consider pushing the like button, pushing the subscribe button. Heck, maybe even leaving a comment. I am perpetually just on YouTube, and if you write a comment, I will be there for you. Help me. But yes, thank you. We are on our way to 1,000 subscribers. Do I know what will happen when we reach 1,000? No. Will we do something special? Yeah. That's a promise now. That's a promise.